Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good to see you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Tell us about your movie, Heather.
Well, let's see. I kind of first of all, I apologize. Like 2 days ago, I got diagnosed with Bell's palsy. It's like the right side of my face is now paralyzed. But it should go
Oh
away.
my God.
Yeah, no, knock it out a good
Oh
thing.
my.
So I can't smile. So it's all on the inside. If I do smile, I look like a
It's
Drake
all good.
pirate. Horrible. Yeah.
It's all good now.
So yeah, no, the film I kind of tag it as Romeo and Juliet on crack. It's a yeah, exactly. It's a thriller. It's a wild ride. It's a fast movie that just once it starts, it just goes to the end. Bam, bam, bam. Go ahead.
And it's what is? Tell us a bit of the story.
It really deals with a lot of karma. Things from your past coming back to haunt you, things you've done, people you've hurt, how it's affected people's lives, and it sort of has that kind of like that Fargo thing to it, where things just keep getting worse and worse and worse, out of control. Until it just culminates to just disaster. But I kind of look at it also as truly it's a kind of a hidden love story in a sense, a three-ring triangle love story between people, just not even realizing it at first. But yeah, a lot of craziness there.
Let's look at the trailer for the film. I've got it up here, and we'll talk on the other side. It's only a minute, folks. Let's get a taste of Heather. Here we go.
One pain is lessened by another's anguish.
You only do private sessions, or can I book you for parties?
Do you know why men go to a dominatrix? Wife, the kids, stress at work. You've already gone through that.
So it's a romance.
It's a romance. It truly is.
You had me at dominatrix. There you go. I think that's. But what goes into putting together a film like this?
As in what goes into it, like from start to finish.
Yeah.
I mean, first this is a low budget film in a sense. We didn't do it for that much money, so there's a lot of preparation and trying to give that cinematic value with not having that kind of money. And so a lot of stuff you kind of play around with, with certain kind of effects and certain kind of looks. But we filmed all this on a soundstage actually. Got a hookup there, tested it out. So I don't even think we even paid for the soundstage actually. There's a new one, so that kind of helped us out there. But it's a very filming something like this. You've only got limited time. With kind of budget restraints you have, so you got like not even 3 weeks to film everything. And we're shooting like I don't know 10 pages a day, which is insane. But the actors were great, and I think that kind of added to the value because of the exhaustion everybody was feeling, even the actors. So when you get to the actual filming portion of it, it was very easy for them to get into character because the characters themselves play very exhausting characters throughout. I mean, like I said, it is a very much a wild ride.
When you cast actors for this, or actors try out for a role in this type of movie, are they made aware that the content may be sensitive?
Oh yeah. No, they're fully aware.
Can I ask you? I want to ask about the transition from you being a stunt person to getting into writing and directing. How did that come about?
Well, I've always been writing is my passion. So I've always been a writer. I joined the military when I was 17. Had a whole career in the military. After that, but I still go back to my writing And so when I got out of the military, somebody just came up to me and was like, "Hey, this, guns, cars, and I could use you on set to help out." And that kind of gets into that realm of being on set and see how it works. And then the idea was, I've got all this written work, and could I do something with it? So then I decided, what, instead of just faking it, I'm actually going to go to film school. Go to film school, go to screenwriting, try to transcribe all these like novellas and novel style writing that I have into screenplays, and being on set or even going through filmmaking at the time, I had a liking to it because it really felt like the time in the military of just managing people. So I ended up really liking it. So that's really how I got into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it here. You're in John Wick. You're in Logan. What? I guess I'm curious. What is it about being a stunt person that you can carry into directing? What were the advantages you found as being on set as a stunt person for directing?
Well, I mean, just the experience. I mean, you get to know all the different positions on a set. You don't come in blind now as a filmmaker, not knowing, because those are big budget films, and you see those, and you're like, okay, that'd be nice to have all of that. I'm gonna do this on a low budget, but now I've seen how the professionals done it. I've seen how they operate. I'm not gonna get that same kind of quality or that same kind of the amount of resources of that, but at least it gives you all that good experience on how sets are done in real time. So doing a lot of stunts, that does transition into this, and the film itself had quite a few stunts in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very helpful in that sense. So I know exactly what I'm looking for in that. So that was very helpful, and just knocking out some of these stair falls and stunts of that nature.
Yeah, and then I have to ask you about Sean Young. She's in your film. I've actually seen a few shorts recently with her in it. And what's it like working with her? And what's it like working with her?
She's a pleasure. She's a professional in every regard. So she was very easy on set. And it was a quick set with her, outside, cold, miserable, trying to pretend like it's July, so not really wearing much, and always ready to go, always ready to go. You can see the difference, sometimes in actors. She had a long career as an actor, and it really did show on set. Just knowing exactly like what her best angles were, the things that she needed, and she just pushed through. It was very easy.
Anthony, we have over 1,000 people watching live. They've got questions. Can we go to questions from our chat and comments?
And by the way, you got my name spelled wrong there. There's an I at the end, not a Y.
Oh, is there?
Oh, there is.
Alan,
I'll fix it.
BMO Better says karma is a good theme. Davina Duckworth says that escalated quickly. Lord Comment for 2 says, how did you get the budget for this film?
How did I get the budget? Beg and borrow. No, it was it like a lot of my written work. I don't really shop it out there myself. People get a hold of it. This one in particular, when this one person read it, they realized, hey, just the limited locations, limited actors, this could be done on a very low budget. And it was like, I'm in. And so it wasn't really that hard securing the fundings for it, because they knew it could stay within that low budget realm.
Solomon Thornton says, greetings, Sir Anthony. Sorry about what happened to you. Hope you have a quick recovery. Any advice for beginning filmmakers?
Yeah, go to film school. It's one of those things where, it's like you have to enjoy it. And I remember telling myself initially, it was if I don't enjoy this within the first few weeks, I'm out. Like you can't really fake it. You have to. It has to be really a part of you. And you have to have like a wealth, and I always feel like you have to have a wealth of knowledge in film in general, like classic films, all kinds of films. And one of the main things that I try to do on set is know everybody's position. So I've worked as a gaffer, a grip, a digital effects artist, an editor, a producer, a first AD. I worked all those positions, a sound technician, a boom operator, just to know everybody's role. And so I always feel like when people start getting to filmmaking, it behooves you to really know that, because it's only going to help you along the way. when you get on set and you start managing all this stuff, you know what everybody needs, and that's going to speed everything up.
Adelis24 asks, what lessons have you learned with studio directors you've collaborated with in the past?
I think he's talking about, with like stunt stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
With that, it's you don't see. I mean, I have not spoken to too many studio directors, to be honest. Even in stunts, once in a while, the director will actually come to me and ask my opinion or help and try to adjust the scene. But when it comes to studio films, I've only done that in the realm of stunt work. So it's with the coordinator a lot of times. So I don't really get too much, face-to-face time with directors, with big studio directors at all.
And then Adelis24 says, how long had this idea been stewing in your head? How long from script to production was the timeline?
Script production was let's see, it came to me around 2015, right? So it was like 5 or 6 years of just kind of ruining my head, just sitting on the shelf. I wrote it in a month, probably a month, as I wrote the first draft, and then just sat on a shelf with everything else until people started to read some of my work, and it came out. But it all started from an actual true story that was told to me from someone at a bar, and I just sat there just completely amazed that this actually went on. And I was like, oh, and I went home and I was like, oh, I got to start writing this stuff down. I'm not gonna make it the true story that they said. I'm gonna do a little bit different, but it was inspired by an actual real event.
Owen Knight for €5 or £5 says, I have a question I've always wanted to have answered. How does someone without an agent get their script noticed in the film industry these days?
Just throw it all over the streets and everybody's desk and just throw it out there. No, that's not going to work. No, it's actually these days I have no idea how it works anymore. Ever since the streaming platforms, like spec scripts just don't seem to get read anymore. They're coming from other content like books for making new stuff. It seems to be really hard. Getting agents as well. I mean, I have a manager. I don't have an agent who takes care of this kind of stuff. But as far as I know, it's not an easy thing to do. It's just connections, really.
Nerd Far Away asks, hail, Mr. Repinski. I'm impressed by your resilience. What kind of story would you like to write next?
So right now I'm finishing up a novel, actually. It should be done within this year, The Braided Tree. It's a mystery novel. I sort of always stick with, horror, mystery, and thriller are my genres of choice. Mystery nowadays seems to be on the top of my list, but that's what's next is a book. Before I do another movie, I want to knock out and publish this book, and then hopefully turn this book into a TV show or movie.
Razorburn asks, Anthony, what was it like to work with Hugh Jackman?
Great. No, he's awesome. He's one of those actors that takes the time to know everybody's name, what they do. Doing stunts with him on Logan was great. I think he punched me in the face for real, actually, on one of the stunts, going all in and not realizing, no, you can't do that. It's the claws that got to kill me, not your actual fist. But he goes all out, which is great to see. And he's always amazing. And it's a pleasure just to see how interactive he is with everybody else. He takes his time with everybody on set, and like I said, he'll get to know everybody's first name. And so I come into set, he's just like, Anthony, let's go. I'm like, all right.
I've always heard raves about Hugh Jackman, that he is that's why he works so much. I gotta say, he's just a straight up nice guy
and professional. Yeah.
And final question here, Benito Salazar says, where and when can we see Heather?
When is now? It just got released not too long ago. The main ones would be like Amazon Prime, obviously everybody knows, Tubi, Fandango, and there's just a long list of other streaming platforms. I cannot keep track of how many are out there these days, but those ones are the top ones.
Great. So on the VOD, Anthony, thank you so much.
Well, we just got a super chat.
Oh, sure. Let's last question.
Here we go. From Owen Knight for 5. Level with me. What do you think of the Fall Guy? Has Lee Majors and now Ryan Gosling lied to me about how cool the job is?
I actually don't watch the Fall Guy. What are they asking here?
Did you see the Fall Guy movie? It's
I
about
did not.
It's being a stuntman as cool as it's made out to be.
I mean, no, I understand the Fall Guy. I actually never seen it. And if I knew about how cool it as it stunts. I mean, no, stunts is as cool or as boring as you want it to be. I mean, people think that stunts is you go out there and you're working all day doing crazy things. No, you could literally just push someone slightly, and that's a stunt, and get paid for it. So there's a varying degrees of just doing a simple 10-yard run is a stunt to falling off a building set on fire. So yeah, there's a lot of cool moments, and there's a lot of just hanging around like people are used to.
Cool. Well, thank you, Anthony, for spending time with us. The film is Heather. It is out now, available on VOD. Check your favorite platforms. Hey, have a great weekend, man, and congrats on the movie.